If you're a kid, please make note of this. It's for your own good. As a fan of 3D platformers, I've been very happy to see the genre get a lot more games in recent years. Some classic icons came back for more, along with some new faces that really brought more life into the genre, making up for it not being as common years prior. There's a ton I love, and a ton I'm looking forward to, but there was one I had some interest in known as Balan Wonderworld. Balan Wonderworld is a new 3D platformer made by ex-Sonic Team employees, including Yuji Naka, as well as Arzest, the people behind Yoshi's New Island and Hey Pikmin, and published by Square Enix, strangely enough. I was extremely interested in a lot of the ideas being proposed, with the various power-ups from the suits you could get, to the level design mixing reality and fantasy together, and the cutscenes looking absolutely amazing. I was happy to see a new platform from people who worked on earlier Sonic games, and because there was a demo that was released not too long ago, I decided to give it a whirl, and... man. I wouldn't say this game is outright horrible, but man does it really need more time in the oven. I'm disappointed that I had to come to this conclusion, but I'm equally disappointed that this is how the demo is, because I was really looking forward to this. For positives, the cutscenes still look great, and no matter how they reflect upon which character you picked. Yeah, like Knights, you have a choice between two protagonists, Leo Craig and Emma Cole. They play identically, but it's kind of neat that you get to see different versions of the story from their own perspective, so I welcome this. But that, the decent soundtrack, and Balan being a decently fun character mean less and less when they are put into such a basic and uninteresting platformer. Leo and Emma by default can just jump. That's it. They don't have any other moves like a slide, a dash, or any physical combat. Nothing. And I'd be okay with this, except for some baffling reason, jumping has 6 buttons. Yes, 6 buttons. The 4 face buttons, and the back triggers. I'm not expecting Leo or Emma to be Olympic champions or anything, but having 6 jump buttons feels downright cumbersome, which is not helped by how they handle. The jump feels very stiff, and it doesn't feel good to do any actual platforming with it. And this ground speed is... not okay. You're really slow, meaning traversing levels no matter the size gets really dull, even when you throw the costumes in. This was one aspect I was interested in, but sadly it wasn't as well implemented as I thought it was going to be. They each have one thing they can do, and are sadly not utilized for anything else other than adjusting the level for progression, meaning they feel more like gimmicks rather than expansions to what Leo and Emma can do, which is emphasized by the fact that this costume's ability replaces jumping on button commands, meaning that there are some costumes where you cannot jump. Period. The lack of jumping in a platformer. Why? The only reason I can think of for this, and for mapping the same action to 6 buttons, is that they intend to implement over 80 costumes into this game. On paper, that would be neat, but when it gets to a point where it interferes with how the characters handle, including when they can't jump, there needs to be a point when someone says, enough is enough. Not even the levels help out. They decided to go for the Mario 64 route and just have the collectibles spread throughout each level, which is fine, but a lot of them require costumes that are only accessible via other levels, which is a trope I have grown a dislike for. And some require getting perfects in these minigames that are just quicktime events you do with Balan, which feel incredibly tacked on. It's also hard to get them to respawn. I've never figured out a method to do it, because it's supposedly really out of your way, which doesn't help its case. If all that did not make me sad already, then the looks of this game definitely drove it home. The coloration is nice, but every surface looks so flat and rigid. There's surprisingly little life coming out of this world, and when it does try to be more visually appealing, it borders on eye ache territory, which is not a territory a game should go in, and I don't get eye aches or nausea very easily. And riddle me this, what is up with these random pauses? I'm playing the PS4 version, and it runs okay most of the time, but every once in a while the game will freeze for just a second before resuming like nothing happened. This also becomes a visual distraction. From what I've heard, these don't happen as frequently on PC, PS5, or Xbox Series X, but the Switch version is even worse with this. Good lord, don't play it on there. But really, I'd have a hard time recommending this demo because it left such a bad impression on me. I was really looking forward to this game. I was happy to see a lot of old Sonic Team devs back in action, and I'm always happy to enjoy another 3D platformer. But with how boring this game gets, and how much it feels unfinished in areas, I can't board this train if this isn't really a proper representation of what the game will be like when it hits store shelves for full retail price. This game deserves better. and it needs more time, sorry to say. I'm the Lightning Ripper, and it's never good when a game you're looking forward to doesn't deliver.